clear that we needed to bring ourselves back into focus, and so we started from the heart. Tonight, I'm introducing Sue Schuemann, who gave her From the Heart to the committee, and I really feel that tonight you're going to be very blessed by Sue's message. Sue.
Good evening. I, along with you tonight, celebrate the memory of loved ones we've lost and those who are still fighting. We also celebrate the great strides that have been made against cancer. I'm remembering my brother David tonight. As a family of 3 girls and 3 boys, we had always counted our blessings. We were all healthy, as well as all of our children. That would all change forever. In October of 2004, my brother David, age 44, ran his first Chicago Marathon. He was a local runner. However, the Chicago Marathon was a big accomplishment for him. He finished in 4 hours and 18 minutes, and needless to say, he was exhausted and we were proud. The 1st of November, he didn't feel well. Went into the doctor and was diagnosed with bronchitis. After taking the medication, there was no improvement. He actually got worse. He was given a second medication for lung inflammation. Thanksgiving holidays arrived and David was very uncomfortable. He had intense pain in his right side, and on the way home from our family dinner, my sister-in-law Angel took him to the emergency room. The x-ray showed a shadow on his lung. It was said to be a sac of fluid due to his previous lung inflammation and also his intense training for running the Chicago Marathon. However, by Christmas, he was even worse. He couldn't sit down for dinner with our family, and he stood during dinner to ease his pain. He was very thin and pale. The first week of January, he was rushed to the emergency room. His right lung was so full of fluid, it had pushed his heart against his left lung. A week later, still in the hospital, they decided to explore David's right lung, and he had lung cancer. He had ran the Chicago Marathon only 2.5 months earlier. Can this possibly be? We were told that David is strong, he's very, and we will give him intense chemo. It will be a battle, but this is a battle that can be won. Due to my work schedule, I was privileged to spend some time during the day with David while others had to work. And for me, I will always cherish our times and our talks. David ran the gamut of horrible side effects. On the weekend of February 26th and 27th, he slept continuously, and he ran a very high fever. We questioned this the Saturday of the 26th, feeling that something just wasn't right. We were told this was the result of the intense chemo, and that night, as I sat in the dark in David's room while he slept, something was wrong. It was a very cold and snowy day on Monday, the 28th of February, 2005, when David finished his last race and received his greatest reward, the gift of eternal life. David died at approximately 5:30 p.m. We were stunned and forever changed. About a month later, I signed up for Kelly Bushu as David's runners. David was a relay team member in Cass County for 10 years. I told my family about my decision to do the team, and approximately a third of them supported me. A third of them didn't, and that was only because they just felt at this time it was something they couldn't do. And a third of them said they would because I kind of told them they would. One of my supporters was my sister, Peggy. We talked, planned, and cried. She was the co-captain. Now, in our fight back, we have to be reminded that God has a plan, even though we don't always understand. On February 14th, 2008, it's Wednesday, it's Valentine's Day, Peggy, my sister, my friend, and co-captain, was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. She left the following day for Rush Hospital in Chicago for 4 weeks. Her chemo began that Saturday. Our thoughts were, is this really happening? While at Rush Hospital, the remaining results came from Mayo on the original testing done in St. Joseph. She had translocation 1621, a rare AML. They had never had a case at the hospital. At times, it was day to day, and she had many complications. She remained there for 8 weeks. I did call the ACS hotline, and they had no information on this form of AML, although they would get back to me, and they did within 2 days. It's very rare and very aggressive, and there's only poor prognosis without a transplant. She came home for 2.5 weeks, returning to Rush Hospital on May 7th. Her chemo began for 4 days, and on May 13th, she received her bone marrow transplant, our youngest brother being the donor. Peggy had many of the expected complications while at Rush. She remained there for 4 weeks and came home on June 5th. She returns to Rush Hospital 2 times a week for checkups. She's very weak and unable to eat very much. However, she is grateful to be home. It is with much pride and thankfulness that I introduce to you my sister Peggy. Allowing us to share our